Hello guys, you're welcome to my channel once again, and I am very pleased to be at your comfort zone on your screens. Happy New Year once more. Today I have a little discussion on a topic that I think that was before Christmas. It was across all social media platform about a Nigerian boy, 13 years old child, who the parent took to Nigeria and enrolled him in a boarding school. And this child had taken up to contact the British consulate and the child welfare. And this child in question is a 13 years old child. So this brings me to my topic for today: parenting in a changing world. Parenting in a changing world. Lessons from this 13-year-old child. Before I start, I would like to say that I am privileged to work with children within the age range of 1 year to 17 years. It's not limited, but currently I work with that age range. And I must say, as an African parent, sometimes when I get back, a couple of my friends can attest to this. I weep for my African parents. I weep, literal weeping. I weep for my African parents. Honestly. Because in the setting where I work, the setting consists of mixed children, so it's not just my African children. But then it's like, you see, I don't know, the way these children behave, I wonder if that is how they behave at home, or are they trying to prove a point to their British friends? For me, I concluded that I think they are trying to prove a point of belonging to their British friends. And whenever my children get back from school, I also ask them, why do Black children, African children, why do they behave this way? And they say, Mama, I think they're just trying to prove a point. Because they outdo the people who we think that are cultureless. We feel that we have culture, right? We have culture from our heritage. And we feel that these other people, that they don't have culture. But I tell you, if you walk in the setting where I walk, you will weep. In fact, I mean, let me just hold it there. So that is bringing me to my topic. Like I said, parenting in a changing world. And I want to highlight on this child's story what was his reasons for suing his parents, for suing them. He said, according to what the videos that have been flying across social media, that he was abandoned, taken to Nigeria, enrolled in a boarding school, and abandoned. So for me, as a parent, I have teenagers in my house. It has never crossed my mind or my lips one day to threaten my children, to say, if you misbehave, if you don't do things right, forwarding you or parceling you or sending you, to Africa. I don't want to use the other words that people are using. They cargoed him to Africa. No, he's not a cargo, So it has never crossed my lips. And that is not to say that children would never be children. But I want to say that at what point does parents lose control over their young children. This is a 13 years old child we are talking about. Okay, now the boy said he was abandoned, and which makes me to believe that he wasn't aware that he was going to be enrolled in a boarding school in Nigeria. And there was no prior conversation before they took him there. And whilst they registered him and the parents came back, before they came back, there was no conversation with this child, which I would say is absolutely wrong as a parent. There is need for parents to have an age-appropriate conversation with their children. You have to know your children at every age. If a child is 2 years, there's a way you communicate with a 2 years old child. You know, that time where they want to touch something and they are looking at you, there is a way you communicate and they will understand. So there is a need for honest conversation, honest age-appropriate conversation with that child in question. That was where I think the parent failed. Now, do the parent have right to take their own child to Nigeria? Yes, if you feel that your child is maybe deviating from the norm, you get it, and you are a parent to that child, and what you see, you don't want to have maybe a disastrous ending for that child, and you feel taking that child to a place like Africa is the best for that child. Why not? As a parent, that means you have good intention for the child. But I feel that they needed to have an open conversation to let the child in question understand the reason why they are taking him to Africa. To let the child understand that we are not abandoning you there. Maybe 3 times a year we'll visit, and we are leaving you in the cares of your aunties and uncles over there who would maybe every 2 weeks also visit you. When you are in summer holiday, you would definitely come and visit your other siblings over here. That should have been an honest conversation the parents should establish before taking him to Nigeria. Number 2, dumping a child in another country without their understanding. He had no understanding that they were even going to enroll him in a boarding school. Dumping him there makes him feel or have that sense of abandonment. That is one thing I realized in this whole story. And also, African parents, you must learn to have discussions with your children. You must explain reasons for everything. We are doing this, where according to some people, they said the parents, they saw some photos of, things that is not appropriate for the child. Like I said, I don't have any fault, any reason to fault the parent for taking that decision. But what I'm saying is that what made this child feel have the sense of abandonment is because there was no discussion. And now that is how you get to know that the world is changing. If a 13-year-old boy could get in touch with British Consulate and child welfare, I mean, the world is changing, and parents, we can't keep folding our hands and working our 12-hour shift thinking that is, we have to meet the needs of the family. But then I think there is more to that. Parents must learn to parent intentionally. Parents must learn to parent intentionally. That means you have to be consistent in parenting. You have to parent in love. You have to constantly have conversation. My children, when they go to school, when they come back, I ask them, what happened in school today? What subjects did you learn today? They tell me all the subjects. I still think that most African parents, mostly in the UK, where people work 12-hour shift. In fact, if they could do 24-hour shift, it's very possible. Yes, we are doing all this working, but at the end of the day, what happens to the children? What kind of future are you building for these children? What kind of future are you looking into at your old age to beat your hand on the chest and say, I have raised children of honor, children of dignity? Every praise is still going to be to you and God alone, not to me. So we must learn to parent intentionally. Now, why do parents struggle to handle their children? Why do you think parents struggle to handle their children? Societal pressure and influence of peers. Now, and social media. Social media, there is no child. Even as parents, that's why I said you have to parent with intentional. Grow with your children. In fact, the pace the children are given to parents now, that pace, if in the pace they give you for every second of their life, in 10 years, you have not even been able to cover up that pace. So you need to step up. You need to step up as a parent in diaspora, particularly. Peer pressure. I have teenagers, like I said. One of them, when he got into high school, year 7, okay, is not the type that makes friends. Like my children are like me. I take my time to go through and compare, contrast before I go into friendship with anybody. So he's not the type that makes friends easily. And primary school, it was very tough. Secondary school, the first year, it was also tough. But as time went on to the second year, he had a few friends, and I had to say, okay, I need to get involved to know the parents of these children. You understand? So that my labor will not be in vain. So I got to know the parents, the third year, I started seeing a little bit changes. Like when they close from school, instead of coming home straight, they go to a nearby game shop, maybe to play some game. I noticed that he doesn't come back home again like as early as he would do before. And I put a call to the school and say he's not, because I will ring him, he wouldn't pick, his phone is always on silent. And I rang the school that I don't know what's happening. And they said, oh, he's left school. But luckily for me, the place they went to play, the people rang me. I don't know if it was a miracle. They said, oh, we want to let you know that your child is here. We are so group. Kids come to this place to play. And I said, okay, I will save your number. And I said, can you tell him immediately to find his way home? Because I did not approve it. I am not aware. I have to make research to know. You understand? And they sent him home. Now, I'm not saying that you should be a very strict parent. People who know me, they know that I'm like my children's elder sister. They're like my younger ones because they are free. There's nothing that I think that I don't know about my children that maybe they're keeping it as a secret for me. I don't think so. So parents, why are parents struggling to handle their children? It's because some parents have already missed it. What do I mean by missing it? At age 0 to 12 years of a child's life, you need to be physically, emotionally there to guide, to teach, to nurture, to support these children. I think educational psychology or philosophy of education said that a child was born with a clean slate. So it is now the duty, the responsibility of an intentional parent to know what you are going to impute into the life of that child. You have to know. You have to know that, oh no, this, I'm throwing this away. I'm not going to let this into the life of my child. But in that age 0 to 12 years, when I say age 0 to 12 years, maybe one of the parents can be doing, the father can be doing maybe 9 to 5 or whatever. But the mother at that 0 to 12 should be doing maybe, what do you call it, a part-time job. You will survive. You would definitely survive. But you are building a leader or leaders of tomorrow as a parent. So you see African parents, they go to 12-hour shifts. In fact, sometimes they come back, the kids, some children I see in school is like they don't even have a proper shower. They don't even comb, their hair is not kept. You would know that these children, no mother was at home to get them ready for school. It is bad. Times are changing. A 13-year-old boy now was able to sue the parents for abandonment. Times are changing. Times are really changing. I don't want this video to be too long. I want to say that parents, you must know that there will be a disconnection between you and your children because of your unavailability in the house for them. Because of your unavailability, you're not present. The time children are going to school in the morning, you are coming back from your shift that time. Maybe by 8 or 7, you are back from school. By the time these kids are back from school in the afternoon, you have gone for your shift. Kilo day. I am, as I speak to you, I started working properly, I think, when my children were at age 7. That was when I started my first work, my first job in the UK. I relocated from the Netherlands. I wasn't working due to some, not because I did not want to work, but if I had the opportunity to work that time, I would do a part-time job. But I did not work until I relocated to the UK. And the first time my children went to a childminder's house one was already age 8 and one was age 7. And do you know what she said to me? One of these days, I'll bring her on my live video. She'll be able to tell you what she said to me. She said to me, your children are different. She said, I pay her as a childminder, but at the end of the year, Christmas time, she gives my children money, 50 a pound. She said, don't tell other parents. She said, your children are different. They are well behaved. And I look at myself and I said, God, thank you. Because those early years of their life that I didn't work, I was feeling it. I have families in Africa. I needed to support also in the house. But I am glad that it worked out that way. And even from that age that I started working, I was working part-time. Part-time job was what I was working. Did we survive? Were we all right? We were okay. So what I want to say to parents, times are changing so quick. Now, when I initially made mention of parenting with intention, you need to be intentional. You need to be consistent in your parenting. It's about you being deliberate. It's about you being mindful about the children, about their morals, about their growth, about their well-being. You need to be mindful of these children that God has given to you. I always say that at the end of the day, when they become full-grown adults, children should be able to be useful to themselves, to you as their parent, and to the society at large. If as at that time, and you can't be able to testify, people cannot look at your children and say, well done, who is the parent that brought up these children? You've missed it all. May it not be our portion. So you need to be consistent. Even when the children are resisting the impact you are trying to put into their life, even when they are not accepting it, you need to be fervent. You need to keep pushing. You need to keep being consistent. Now I'll end my my discussion on my story with my daughter. She said to me, there was a time she said, a few years ago, I'll bring my children, your grandchildren, she was saying to me, when I get married, I'll bring your grandchildren to visit you, but they will visit you and they will not stay with you. And I said, why? She said, because you're very strict. And I said, oh. She said, but it's for your own good. But your friend tells you, or most of your friends says, your mom is very friendly. So at the same time, am I not friendly? I said, I'm going to love my grandchildren the way I love you people. She said, yeah, I don't want you to, I don't want you to, you know. I said, no, but I don't do that to you. She said, yeah. And should I say, fortunately for me, and unfortunately for a video that she saw on TikTok. I think I was the one that showed her the video. So when I showed her the video, she said, I wonder if parenting at this age, if children at this age are behaving this way. Sometimes, Mama, I think of how are we going to be able to raise our own children. This was what a 14-year-old child said to me a few years ago. She said, Mama, when I see children behave this way, said, I wonder how we would be able to raise children well in our own time. And she now altered that word she said to me before. She said, anyway, I know you are there, Mama, to take care of my children. I said, no, you told me that you won't bring them to. She said, no, Mama, I'm going to bring them. It's very hard the way I'm seeing children now. And that is to tell you that keep being consistent. Keep loving them unconditionally. It's not about being strict. Learn to merge things together. You understand? Learn to merge. Be soft. Don't be too soft. Learn to be intentional about these precious children that God has given to us. And time will not permit me to say, in terms of social media platform, she's only on, what do you call it, Snapchat. From the age she started using phone was at the age 8 when I started working, when I started my part-time job. That was when she started using phone. So I gave her this phone. It's not Android, it's those pacha phone. So till now, she's only on Snapchat. It was just late last year. I said, okay, you can be on TikTok, but you're not going to post. And fortunately for me, some of her friends at school, the parent also, and these are not our black children. Their parents don't allow them to do any posting. So what they do, sometimes she will dance around the house. Everything is in her draft. What is she waiting for? Till she becomes 18 years. Yes, you can do it. You can. But these children have to know that all you are trying to do is about shaping and molding and building them for their own betterment. You can do it. You can. It's not easy. It is not. Sometimes the whine, they feel like you're being too strict. Then you can just try to amend again. You understand? So for me, I'm not following the case of this child to say, let's see what will be the end. But I'm telling you that our Black children in my place of work, it's a regular day-to-day something. I see them, I work with them. God will help us. So please, if you like this video, if you come across it, please kindly subscribe, like the video, share it, and turn on the notification bell so that each time I upload, you'll be able to, or you'll be the first to get my video. Thank you very much for liking, sharing the video already, which I know you would do in advance. All right, until I come your way again, bye bye.